Welcome back to my last installment of my eyeshadow palette roulette declutter. I started this, I believe, about 2 months ago, and I have absolutely loved decluttering this way. It has opened my eyes to a lot of different things. So I wanted to come back and show you guys my completed eyeshadow palette collection. As you guys know, I have not actually posted for the last 2 weeks or the last 2 episodes of it because life happened. My dog got sick and was diagnosed with diabetes, and he was hospitalized. They were trying to stabilize him with insulin. Life is always more important. So I did want to come back and show you guys my new makeup collection. Now I am putting that in air quotes because you cannot really call it a collection anymore. This is my entire makeup stuff. This is everything that I have kept. This is my foundations. This is my concealers. This is everything. So let's go ahead and get into it. So to start with, I store my makeup in my closet. I do have a very small closet because it does have the cabinets above it. So I do live in an older house, and that is very popular, but I do store my makeup in the closet. I do keep my everyday makeup in the little blue bag on the top of a little stacker in my closet, so I can easily access this. Now this is everything that I wear on a day-to-day basis. I have everything in this little blue thing on my face. Currently, there is nothing more, nothing less. Everything in this thing is on my face. I do keep my extra lip products in a little keeper on the top as well, and in the bottom drawer is where I keep all of my extra. Now this is makeup that I'm not currently using for one reason or another, so let's go ahead and start with my everyday makeup bag. Now this does include my makeup brushes as well as my makeup products. To start with, let's go ahead and talk about face brushes. I do have 5 in my bag that I use every single day. I do use every single brush every single day. There is not one of these that I do not use. They all serve a purpose: for blush, for blending out the blush and bronzer together, bronzer, under eye, and face setting powder. I use these every day. I love them. I have narrowed down my brush collection to just these, and I do love them. Next we have eye brushes, and I only have 2 that are in my everyday bag. I have a fluffy one to blend out the crease color, and I do have this one that's a little bit more pointed to do under eyes or to do a liner, but these I use every day as well for one of those 2 purposes. Next we have foundation, and for the longest time the Iconic London was the only foundation in my collection. However, I am getting a little bit darker due to gardening in the summer, so these 2 are the ones that I have in my everyday makeup bag. I use a pump of this, and then I use this, and I mix them every day on my sponge, put it on my face, quick, easy. I love the way this looks, and I love that this has an extra SPF for me, just because, you know, outside in the summer, a little extra SPF isn't going to hurt anybody. The Lancome concealer is my only concealer and has been my only concealer for a very long time. I do love this. I wear the shade 090, and it is just a really good concealer. When I need to, I can also use this as a foundation. When we travel and I don't feel like taking a foundation with me, I will take this and a powder, and I absolutely love those 2. It's quick, easy, and it works for me. For setting powder, I have the 8 Free Joe Loose Translucent Setting Powder. This does have 20 grams of product in it, so it is a hefty beast, but I've used it for a very long time. There's quite a bit of it left, so I will probably be using it for a very long time to come. So this, I love it. It looks beautiful on the skin. It's not cakey. It's blurring. Everything you want in a powder. For my bronzer, I use the Stars from the Stars bronzer, and I love this one because it's a lighter matte shade. It's really good for the winter time. I'm kind of getting to the point that I need to use my deeper one in my NARS palette, but I still love this one. I'm just piling it on. I can see the rings in it. Hopefully I can pan this sometime soon, but I love this one out of all my bronzers. This is the one I decided to keep. The blush that I'm currently using is the Disney's Mickey and Friends Essence Bouncy Blush in 01. one, Never Grow Up. And this is kind of like the MAC Glow Play blushes, the same texture of them. I really do like the color of this one, and it's very, very easy. I did declutter all of my single blushes, but this is the one that I pulled back and I decided I was going to keep because I just love the way it looks with this makeup look. This everyday makeup look I have going on, this is the perfect shade for it. For eyeshadow for my everyday makeup, I've been using the Bobbi Brown Dual Stick, and it's got golden pink on one side and taupe on the other. You guys, this is such a pretty look on my eyes. I wear it every day. I love it, and this stays with my oily eyelids and sweating and hot flashes and everything. This is gorgeous. I absolutely love this. I do believe Sephora currently has a couple of shades of this, but this one shade that I use is sold out. It's gorgeous, it's quick, it's easy. It's everything I want in an eyeshadow currently. I'm going to kind of talk about these together because they're not really anything special. For my brows, I use the NYX Fill and Fluff in the shade Taupe, and for my eyeliner, I'm using the W7 King Cole liner in black. I'm just using these because they're in my collection. Will I repurchase them? Who knows, but I am going to use them up before I even think about repurchasing. The mascara I'm using is Rare Beauty. I do go back and forth between the Tarte, it's the one in the gold too, but I'm drawing a blank on what it is. I think it's the XL tubing mascara, I want to say, maybe. But I go back and forth between these. This one, the Rare Beauty, is currently the one that I have in my collection. I love them both equally, but I will only have one mascara in my collection. I don't need to. When I use this up, I will repurchase one of the two of them. So the lip combo that is in my everyday makeup bag is the W7 Lip Twister in the shade Nude, and the Essence, the Slim Stick, and the shade Over the Taupe. I do wear these two together every day. Sometimes I put a gloss over them. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time it's just quick and easy. Wears off beautifully throughout the day, so I don't have to worry about it looking bad. But that is it, you guys. Those are the 12 makeup products that are in my everyday makeup bag. I have every single one of those products on my face today. I used every single one of those products, every single one of those brushes, and I really enjoy just having a quick go-to grab a bag for it. And in case you guys are wondering, this little keeper that I keep them in, my mother-in-law made me a couple of them for Christmas, so they're homemade. But that is it, you guys. That is what I'm wearing, what I'm loving, what I'm using currently. I have this drawer in the bottom of my keeper that I keep all of my makeup that I'm not currently using, but I do use. That is important. I do use this. I have the Misha BB Boomer. This is the primer that goes with it. I use this more in the spring and winter time. This has kind of got a pink tint to it, and it's a glowy pearlescent tint to it. So I add it to the Misha BB cream or my Iconic London if I want a little bit more of a glow to my skin, but I do use this. The CoverGirl Clean Eye Color Pencil in the shade Golden Toffee is the only other eyeshadow crayon that I have. I like this one because it is a shimmer shade and I can pack it on and it looks shimmery, but I can also blend it out and it can be a really pretty crease color. I have the Kaja Bento Stack in Chocolate Dahlia here. This is my travel eyeshadow. If I'm going to take a powder eyeshadow, I pack this when I go. For my eyebrows, I do have the Benefit. I believe this is the Give Me Brow, and it's in the shade 3. I use this if I want a bit more of a darker eyebrow, but I've been kind of going lighter with the eyebrows, hence the pencil. And then the two powders that I have are both Essence. The Essence All About Matte, when it gets up to 90 degrees and I am sweating and hot flashes, I will put this on top of the Avery Joe powder to help keep me matte. And then the Essence 16 Hour Cover and Last Foundation Powder. I use this on the days that I am just wearing the concealer as a foundation on my face, and then I'll dust that over the top of it. It makes a really pretty base for anything that I want to put on top of it, and it's quick, it's easy, and it's painless. So this is the little white basket that you see that's in here. And then we have palettes. but 2 of these are face palettes, and then these are the ones that survived my eyeshadow palette roulette declutter. And you guys are gonna say that that is a lot less than what I did, but I did go through behind the scenes these past 2 weeks and really look at my eyeshadow and decide what I wanted to keep. Let's go through the face palettes. These are the ones that made it through my declutter, and up until I took this one back out, these were the only blushes and bronzers in my collection. And the first is going to be this NARS palette here. For the longest time, if you saw me wearing blush, these 2 shades mixed together, that's what it was. And this does have some nice like wearing away on it. These will last forever because they're baked. This bronzer here is a little bit dark for me currently, and it is a glowy bronzer, so it will be more of the middle of the summer bronzer. I love this highlighter, and when I wear this one here, I also mix it with that one just because I like the more shimmery look to it. So I use every shade in that. And then I do have this e.l.f. palette here, which I've thought about decluttering, and I might end up decluttering. This is more my winter time. I love the bronzer shades in here for winter time. Once I'm done with my Stars for my Stars bronzer, I will probably switch to these 2 for the winter time. I love this blush and this blush. This one I kind of mix in when I want more of a glowy blush, but then again, I'm reaching for the NARS, so this one might be biding its time until I declutter it. We'll have to see. And then the 4 eyeshadow palettes that I kept for my declutter. And some of these you guys are going to be like, wait, what? You kept that one? It went through a process. I compared shades. It was an entire process, you guys. But the first one that I kept is going to be the NARS Climax palette. And as you guys know, I love all the shades in this. I use this if I'm going to reach for a quick and easy palette. This has become my go-to. If I'm not using the eyeshadow sticks, this is the one that I grab. I love the mirror in it. I love the colors that it has. It's just a beautiful palette. The next is going to be the Tarte Rainforest Temptations palette. And again, I love every shade in this. This definitely has more options for it. And it also has a matte blush in it, which I do appreciate. So because I have that matte blush, again, the e.l.f. might be getting decluttered. I have to wait and see until after this coming winter season to see if I use that e.l.f. because I did use that e.l.f. palette this last winter season. Rude Cosmetics, the Roaring 20s Indulgence palette. I do love this. I love the peachy tones, especially for this time of year. And this does give me some really good pops of shimmer, like really standout pops of shimmer. Some of the shades do end up with fallout, but I do like that one. And then the palette that you guys have probably not seen a lot on my channel, but this is the palette that started my whole eyeshadow palette roulette declutter series. I was using this palette every freaking day and I loved it. I loved the look I got. It was quick, it was easy, it was simple. This is my baby, and this is the MAC Connect in Color Unfiltered Nudes palette. Absolutely love all the shades in it. It works for me. The shimmers, you know, I don't have to worry about shimmer having fallout. Beautiful palette. Okay, real quick, let me run through my lip products because I'm especially happy about these lip products, you guys. I have managed to whittle down my collection to under 10 lip products. So we have the 2 lip products that are in my everyday makeup bag. And then for my lipsticks, I have the ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Love Life, which is more of a pinky red shade. I have the Give Beauty Liquid Lipstick in Space Buns, which is more of a red-orange shade. And then I have the NARS Morocco, and that is definitely, it's an orange-ish shade, but it's also a terracotta. It can be patted down to have more of just a warm look to your lips without a lot of color, at least my personal lips. So those are the 3 lip products that I have. Those are the 3 only lipsticks that I have currently. For my lip liners, besides the one I have a Revolution one in the shade Chauffeur and an Essence Red one in the shade Classic Red, which takes care of all my lip liner needs. For lip glosses, I have the NYX Fat Oil Click Stick, and this one is a shimmery one. It's in the shade No Filter Needed. I do like this one. It gives a little bit of shimmer. I don't like that the shimmer transfers, but I'm going to use it up anyway. And as you guys can see, the Wet n Wild Sweet Swirl Glitter Lip Oil is one of my favorites. It's almost empty. I absolutely love it. It gives just a hint of pink to the lips, even though it looks really, really red. And I'm going to really miss that when it's gone because it was limited edition. The Polite Society Polite Palette Glossy Lip Balm in the shade Strawberry Glaze is going to take the place of the Wet n Wild Sweet Swirl Glitter Lip Oil. So this one still has a lot of product in it. However, it will get used once the Wet n Wild one is gone. So you guys, that is my complete makeup collection. Again, not really a collection, it's just my complete makeup. This is what I have now. This is what I'm happy with. I've really enjoyed every single thing that I have in my collection. I've been using every single thing in my collection, and that is important to me going forward. Now, I do want to take what I learned from my eyeshadow palette roulette declutter and put it to other aspects of my house, maybe my wardrobe, maybe my kitchen. There are so many different things that I would like to try doing to see if perhaps I'm holding on to things that I shouldn't be holding on to. So that is all I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my makeup and what I've whittled it down to. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.